Episode 11, Food. In 2023, I had the opportunity to pay my respects to Fra Crusopan de Maui Ted, the abbot of Wat Dam Apretip in Washington, D.C., and participate in a 3-day meditation training program organized by the temple. Fra Wijid Damapani or Than Chow Kun Sunan, the abbot of Wat Florida Damaram, served as the instructor. The topics covered included mental development, anapanasati, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, the threefold training, the 5 hindrances, overcoming hindrances, the factors of jhana, and the cultivation of insight. The training emphasized lectures, practice, and discussions on the states of mind. On the morning of the second day, after attending a lecture on the 4 foundations of mindfulness followed by a meditation session, my mind became calm and concentrated. Just before the time was up, Than Chow Kun Sunan advised practitioners to maintain awareness and not rush to open eyes. Instead, we should remain mindful during all movements from before opening eyes, while opening eyes, and after opening eyes. This included standing, walking, stopping, taking food, and contemplating the food. At that moment, I felt as if I were in a state of trance, possibly due to the ongoing concentration. I noticed my body moving in every action, even when taking each bite of food. I observed the slow-motion detail of chewing, the teeth grinding the food, and the saliva mixing in. I noticed the aversion arising from seeing the food's unappealing appearance, questioning whether I should spit it out or swallow it. My mind responded that the body needed energy from the food, so I swallowed. I continued to see my hand scooping more food into my mouth, chewing and swallowing, with the food mixing with saliva and digestive juices in my stomach. After about 4 to 5 bites, I felt full. My mind then questioned whether I was full because I had eaten enough or because the unappealing sight of the food in my stomach made me unable to continue eating. An answer arose in my mind: this was sufficient energy for today. With that, I stood up mindfully, cleared my plate, and walked out of the dining room. Upon returning to my accommodation, I sat down to reflect on the events that had occurred. My memory began to work backward, recalling the images that had appeared. I saw the food entering my mouth, the actual process of chewing, the mixing of rice and saliva, the food moving down into my stomach, and the digestive juices at work. This awareness arose because I observed the process continuously in sequence. Further study revealed a relevant concept: the consideration of food as unappealing when consumed, known as aharar patikul sanya. In that state, it wasn't an intentional contemplation of the food, but rather a natural functioning of the mind that recognized internal processes due to the power of mindfulness. Regarding aharar patikul sanya, I understood it to be the mind drawing upon memories to examine the unappealing aspects of food, which is a deliberate contemplation. In summary, when food is beautifully presented, it serves as an illusion, enticing us to think it is appetizing, shaped according to our desires. Ultimately, once it enters the mouth and undergoes chewing, digestion, and breakdown, it transforms into energy for further use. Similarly, the human body may be adorned with expensive clothing and jewelry, but internally, it is surrounded by a layer of inherent ugliness. In addition to the concrete ugliness, there is another type of ugliness that is abstract. When it arises, it clouds the mind, entangling it in the cycle of birth and death. This form of ugliness hides within the mind and surfaces whenever there is a lack of mindfulness, manifesting as craving, attachment, anger, delusion, and clinging. These defilements act as obstacles to doing good, pulling the mind toward decline and preventing practitioners from attaining the path and its fruits. After undergoing training, not only did I develop mindfulness more frequently, but I also began to perceive the reality of my surroundings more clearly. I could frequently examine the things around me, whether they were food, people, animals, or objects, as everything shares the same characteristics: impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Even food that is beautifully presented, delicious, and served in expensive dishes at elegant venues ultimately gets chewed, mixed with saliva and digestive juices, and transformed into energy for use. It cannot remain permanent but changes according to causes and conditions.